Salvia. We have lots of salvia. This is the hot lips right here. This is a really easy addition. Anytime you choose a salvia, once you've got it established, it pretty much takes care of itself in the garden. Salvia and sage, the words are interchangeable. They come in lots of different forms and lots of different types. And so you can have a complete sage salvia garden and have probably a dozen or more different forms. Each one is unique. Each one grows at different heights and different widths, different colors. The flower forms are similar, but there is even variation amongst the flowers. This hot lips here is a nice red. It's going to attract and bring in your pollinators. This one here is a new one. This one's called Rockin Fuchsia. It's got a really bold fuchsia color here. And look at the texture on the leaves. That is really interesting. We've got a lot of texture on there, so the leaves themselves add a lot of interest. This is a real stocky variety. We also have the Misti, which is a really nice kind of bluish purple variety here. These plumes, all the plumes of the salvias, once they get going, are going to bring color to the garden throughout the heat of summer and into the fall. If we have a mild winter, I've seen these salvias blooming almost year-round. They're really easy. Now, some of them you can treat like a shrub, like a small shrub or a bush. They're going to start getting a little woody, and you can trim them back and you can shape them just like any other shrub or bush. So if you don't want them to grow to their maximum size, trimming can be done at any time of the year. Most of these are pretty cold hardy. If we had any hard frost or freezes, you would want to cover and protect them. But just a light frost, cold weather down in the 30s, they're going to be just fine. And they will provide nectar for all of our beneficial pollinators, birds and insects throughout the growing season. You can see here another one. Let's see, there's another new variety. This was called Black and Bloom. So it's going to have this black calyx here, and then from inside of these are going to be some nice blue flowers. These are just now starting to pop out their buds. These are a larger growing variety. Some of these will get upwards of 2 to 3, sometimes even 4 feet, like the Wendys Wish here. Wendy is just now starting to bloom. She also has a nice fuchsia flower, but look at the color on these. Even before the flowers emerge, you got lots of color happening, which is really nice, and it adds a lot of variation to the garden. And even if you were, like I said, have a salvia garden, it would be pretty spectacular with all the different shades and colors and textures. This is a completely different form of sage here. This is the Mexican sage, very heat, drought tolerant. It's got like a silver foliage, which is really striking, is going to stand out on its own. And look at the slender leaves, very long, slender leaves. It's got some aroma to the leaves as well, like most of the sages do. It's really nice, and these are going to have some nice bright purple lavender flowers that emerge very soon. We got the buds forming here on the top. Who do we have here? We have the Mystic Spires with a little bumblebee. I'm going to pet him. Hey there, fella. If you've never pet a bumblebee before, it's very rewarding. This little dude here is just getting in there, getting some nectar, getting some pollen out of there, sticking his face in as far as he can. That's pretty rad. So the Mystic Spires are a really nice a bluish purple again. And so you can see if you come out here, there's lots of different shades. So by blending and mixing these blues and purples, you can get a really interesting effect because each one's slightly different. And you can even notice that the color of the foliage on these greens is different. This is more of a nice light yellow green. And you got some more of the blue green kind of colored leaves here. A lot of them will have similar shapes on the leaves, but you do get different colors and different tones. And so by just mixing these in through the garden, you can get a lot of variation. Come in, check us out. The salvias are a really good addition for the garden here in Jacksonville.